Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rojan making a violin video for you today. We just had a 4th grade class on holding the violin with our sponges. So I want to just kind of give you some instruction about what that means. The sponge generally has a thin side and it has a thick side. It also has some curves to it. So when you put the sponge inside of the rubber bands, the thin side of the sponge goes over the side of the chin rest. The thin side goes over the side of the chin rest. So when I put it on, thin side, thick side, and there it is, the thin side. Some of you might have it marked with an X, some people might not. So you need to know that the thin side goes under the chin rest or the jaw rest. Now the reason why we're going to use a sponge is because we have a large distance between the collarbone and the jaw right here. Such a large distance that the violin is thin, and without it, we tend to do this with our neck and our shoulder. The shoulder comes up and the neck comes down. So that's not very healthy for us. The sponge decreases the size of this gap, so we don't have to do that. Instead, it's more like we just take a little bit of our head and tilt it over on the violin. So once this is all set, we can do our steps. I'm going to stand very straight with my feet together, make a V for violin, side step, rock back and forth. I'm going to take my left hand and grab this soft spot of the violin, put my left hand over the shoulder so I can massage the instrument just a little bit, go to Statue of Liberty position, flip. Remember, when we flip, I'll stand this way, we flip so the scroll goes to the left, end button. Now just touch your collarbone here on the left side, touching the collarbone on the left side and the jaw. Bring the violin in from above, never below, because then the violin's like that, from above, and set it. Now the sponge gives you some extra sturdiness, so you can bring your right hand down and the left hand is still holding the violin. You want to touch your nose, tailpiece. The tailpiece and the elbow are beautifully aligned, so the elbow is right under the violin. Nose, tailpiece, elbow, and the violin is right over the V. Particularly, the violin is over the left foot. Double check that you don't have a twist. Double check that the violin isn't sliding down there. Double check that the violin isn't too high. It's pretty much parallel to the floor. So parents, as you practice with your child, check that it's over the left foot. As a final test, this is often the most tricky. I want you to take your left hand and grab your right shoulder. Watch that carefully again. The left hand grabs the right shoulder. My elbow is not up like this. It's not holding the violin. The violin is held up just by the jaw and the shoulder, and it's still over my V. That's your practice assignment for this week. To go from this position, setting up the feet, side step, to go through all the steps so that you have this position. Now, don't fall asleep on your violin. No, head down too much. Careful not to squeeze. It's going to take some finding of a comfort zone for you of where that violin is comfortable, because every violin is shaped slightly different. Every sponge is shaped slightly different, and of course our bodies are shaped slightly different. So in the end, we want nose, tailpiece, elbow over your V, violin parallel to the floor, being held up between the jaw and the collarbone. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. Once you get that done, you can go to your first finger fiesta, keeping the left hand up here still. Okay? Have fun. Happy practicing. Thank you.